Hey, it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some books that I need to be turned into series adaptations. Whether it be on Netflix, Hulu, or wherever, I need them to become series, and I need them to be done well. A lot of these are middle grade ones, because a lot of the series that I love most are middle grade series. The first one is the Unfortunate Fairy Tales series by Shonda Hahn. This is about a girl who learns that she is related to the Grimm brothers, and she kind of gets this book where she learns that there was a curse put on their family so that every generation, the oldest male, or if there's not male, then just the oldest, will have to go through all the different fairy tales that they collected over the years, and they have to kind of act them out. And if they don't, and like each one they do becomes more dangerous than deadly, but if they don't complete the 200 whatever fairy tales they had, then it goes on to the next generation, so on and so on. This is a really interesting series, and I haven't read the books. There's like 4 or 5 and then a companion one that takes place like 2.5 or something. I haven't read these books in years. I need to reread them, but I just remember it being so cool and intricate, and I really think that would translate well into a series of some sort. This next one I think is kind of also a weird choice, because it's a big, thick book, and it technically has a companion, but I haven't read it yet. I haven't heard a lot of good stuff about it. But I feel like The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee would make for an interesting like short series where there's like 8-hour-long episodes or something that covers it, kind of like they did with A Casual Vacancy and like other thicker novels that don't necessarily like warrant a whole series, but that need more than just a movie. And so like I feel like this would be really interesting, fun, and just like really adventurous, of course, because they go around places series, and I think the settings would be amazing because of all the places they travel to. Now all the rest of these books are middle grade books, so I talk about this one a lot, but Fable Haven by Brendan Mull. Fable Haven is about these 2 siblings named Kendra and Seth who visit their grandparents, and they discover that they are caretakers of a magical animal reserve. This is a witch on the cover, Muriel, and this has 5 books, and then there's another spin-off series that takes place almost right after the 5th book called Dragon Watch. The 3rd book's out. I need to read the 2nd one still, but this was my whole like middle school 5th grade life. It was amazing. I feel like if done well, the animations for like dragons and stuff and the costume design could just be so cool. It's fantasy, it's adventure, there's mystery. It's so cool. It's just the concept of a magical animal reserve is so fun. So I hate this cover, so after I show it, I'm going to put up the cover I like better up here, and that is Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. This is an Irish? I think the author is Irish, maybe Scottish. I think Ireland though. But it's about this girl whose uncle just died, and when she goes to the will reading, she inherits basically everything. His house, his fortune, his royalties from all the books he's published, and she meets this mysterious man named Skullduggery Pleasant, and the house gets broken into because her and her mom go visit her uncle, or her now new estate, and she spends the night there by herself, and the house gets broken into, and Skullduggery Pleasant saves her, and she discovers that he's a skeleton, and he's a skeleton detective. And I discovered this book when I was in 4th grade. I love it. There's like 9 books and then like a companion or 2, you know, like those half books or whatever, and there's so much to work with. Like it starts off when she's like 12 or something, and it goes until she's like 18-ish. And I need to reread it because there's a lot I don't remember, and I still haven't finished the last few, but it's just so intricate. It's so funny. It's kind of dark humor, and I just think like the graphics would be really good again. And like, oh my god, who doesn't want to see a show with a skeleton detective? The penultimate book slash series that I need to be turned into a series adaptation is another one I talk about a lot, and that is Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins. This is a 5-book middle grade series about this boy named Gregor and his little sister Boots, who go missing, and they tumble down the washer into this mysterious underground called the Underworld. Not the Underworld, the Underland. Called the Underland. And they discover that all the animals down there are huge. Like, cockroaches are not like 4 inches or however big cockroaches are. They're like 6 foot tall. All the bats are 7 feet tall. Everything is huge. Humans are the same size, but every other creature is gigantic. And he discovers that his dad, who had been missing for a few years, might have fallen down there as well. And Gregor, Boots, and some Underlanders, including like spiders, bats, humans, and such, they go on a quest to find him, because there's a quest with like a prophecy and stuff. And this book is just so creative. It's by Suzanne Collins, and she's probably one of my favorite writers because Hunger Games. And there's a lot of like, and it's very intellectually pleasing in terms of like prophecies, and like in the 4th or 5th books there's like some codes and stuff, which is so fun. I love the atmosphere. It's just, I need it. And the last book series that I need to become an adaptation for a series on some kind of streaming platform is, of course, the Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, and Trials of Apollo series, because they're all in the same like specific Greek-Roman universe. That I need all 15. Even though a couple of them one of them hasn't been published yet. And because if you're gonna do Percy Jackson, then you gotta do Heroes of Olympus. If you're gonna do Heroes of Olympus, then you gotta do Trials of Apollo. But I hope that Rick Riordan gets like the funding and like the approval and all the other stuff he's trying to do for us, so that we get a good adaptation, unlike the icky movies. Because I feel like, I mean, I don't really have to explain Percy Jackson because it's Percy Jackson, but I feel like seeing a lot of the representation here, and especially if they get like the correct diverse cast and stuff, then that would be really good for young people. Plus, it's Percy Jackson. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell to get notified whenever I upload. I upload every Wednesday, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.